Hey everybody, what's up? This is Nitra. I'm here for Preachers of Atlanta, Season 1, Episode 4. It wasn't a lot in this episode. Um, I actually watched it a few days ago, so let's jump into it. In this episode, we saw Leandria and her husband, and basically their storyline was she's still waiting on the results of the paternity test. She's still having issues with Forrest because she wants him to step up more and find out why the alleged child's mom um, hasn't did anything, I guess, as far as getting the baby tested to see if it's his child or not. We see Forrest saying he basically did his part and he also wants another child. And Leandria is saying that she's not mentally, financially, or spiritually ready for another baby at this moment, given, everything that's going on with them. I'm not sure whether Forrest works or not, but I do see that as being a hindrance and a problem in their relationship. Why this wasn't discussed or worked out prior to the marriage, I have no idea. I don't know if he goes on the road with her or if it's just added stress because of the alleged child involved. We see her go to Kimberly Jones in the episode, and Kimberly is trying to give her advice on what to do in the marriage and saying that they probably should seek counseling. So later on, we see them meet with Dr. Sherry, who's been on the Braxton's Family Value Show. If any of you guys watched that, she couldn't get anywhere with them, and they're basically there. And it is, and I do agree with Forrest, like Leandria is throwing him under the bus. She knew the situation going into the relationship. She knew the possibility of what might happen, and it's like she was ganging up on him. Like, I pay all the bills, I do all this. My question is, if you knew all that, why did you go through with something that later now you seem to have resentment towards? Um, and basically, they kind of argued in the doctor's office, and Dr. Sherry was asking for us, did he understand how Leandria felt? My thing with both of them is he saying that he didn't want a child and just be a quote unquote baby daddy. My thing of it is, if you had not participated in the act or maybe took precaution while in the act, you wouldn't be in the situation. The same thing I say, if she has an issue with him not working or not bringing nothing to the table, why did you continue on in a relationship? If you know what you're looking for and what you desire, I suggest that's what you do and go for it, because it's, as soon as you settle and something happens or pop off, that's when all the bitterness and resentment happens. It's showing. We saw in this episode basically Kenton Jones Mexican hip hop group. I'm sorry about that, you guys. That's my baby daddy texting, but he can wait. Um, and he's preparing for an upcoming concert that his hip hop group is doing. And one of the young men lost their uncle, and they pray for him. I am sorry to hear that. Prayers go out to their family. And basically, he was telling Antonio that, before anything happens to him or his dad, that he needs to get out and, speak to his father, reach out, and see could they mend their relationship. So, all through the episode, we saw Antonio struggling with the idea, telling what, it was like for his father to be in and out of his life, some of the choices he made, decisions he made, and basically it's hard for him to reach out to his dad. But eventually, the night of the concert, he did reach out to his dad. They had a talk. They somewhat mended fences. Basically, he let his dad know how he felt about how he did 7 years. His dad wasn't really there until times were bad. It did hurt him because that's all. Face it, that was a thing where they was talking about absentee fathers. Um, I'm a product of a single parent home, but by the grace of God, I had my grandparents, and my mom was young, but she was still there. Um, and I'm just grateful and blessed to be married and, to be raising my children in a two parent home. I do feel it does make a difference if you're able to have at least two people to raise a child, be there for a child, a man and a woman, because kids need something from each person. Most people say the boys need the dad, girls need the mom, and I think it's that and vice versa. Vice versa. I have daughters, I have a husband, and the bond that my kids have with their dad is, everything I wish I would have had with my biological dad. And even though he's still living, it would never be what it could have been had he stepped up to the plate. I still respect him. I reach out and we can talk. And we have our good times and our bad times. We have the ups and the downs. We had when I cussed him out. We've had all of that. I thought it would make me feel better if I had all this aggression and the resentment, but I had to learn to forgive, better myself, let that not be a hindrance or a handicap to me, and let that not define the person that I was to become, I'm still becoming, and how I raised my kids. So that was a good look, for them to hopefully continue to mend fences, start anew, and grow stronger, and because he still can learn from his dad, and his dad can learn from him. Um, and also in this episode, we saw what Corey was talking about his childhood, what made him want to become a police officer, the things he witnessed as a child with his mom being in physical, domestic violence relationships. Even to the point he was riding in the car with the mom one day. She was with a boyfriend. It was him and his sister. The boyfriend pulled a gun on the mom, wanted her to perform oral sex on him. And I can imagine as a mother how she must have felt, your kids there and this guy, wants you to do something. And, she did what any mom would do to protect their young. She complied and he basically went on. He has a therapist as well. And, the therapist was, asking him why he wanted to be a cop. And he was just saying when he was younger, he felt helpless. He couldn't do a lot for his mom, and he wants to sit down with his mom and vent and get certain things out. So he goes over to his mom's house. I think her name is Alma or Velma. I can't remember. Um, and basically they talk, and she goes on to say she didn't want anyone to kill her boyfriend. She didn't want to get family involved, and I understand because I've been in that situation where you help people that you feel that are in bad situations. Soon as you get involved, they still end up with the abuser. 9 times out of 10, or tell you to mind your business after calling you 500 times a day, venting and complaining with raccoon eyes and busted lips and nose and everything, talking about they ready to leave. So I can understand why she did it. Um, as far as not getting people involved, because if you're gonna stay and take them back and let them woo you, don't get people involved. But I would not recommend staying in an abusive situation, whether it's a man hitting a lady or a lady hitting a man. Both are wrong. Both are wrong and can lead to deadly consequences. And it's not worth it. Value yourself. Love yourself. Get help. It's all type of resources out there. You one step at a time. Especially if you have children. Get out. Even if you don't have children, get out. Um, and she goes on to say something she hasn't even told him. And he's like, he's her pastor. And she said, well, I'm the mama. And I know where she coming from, because I throw that out to my kids every day because I'm the mama. I've been sick. That, Mom, why you doing this? Because I'm still mama. Mamas don't get days off, vacation days, sick days, PTO days, sick days, one leg in the grave, one leg out. Because they just, once you take on the role and title, it's just something about you be on it if you want to be a good parent. I'm not saying don't pamper yourself or love yourself, but when you're a parent, parents truly understand what I'm saying, especially women. And I'm a wife. I don't get days off. It's days I just laid in the bed. It's days I had just this on, take a shower, had to throw this on and cool out because I had fever coming and going, but it didn't stop me from being a parent. So even though I love my family and my friends and people that tried to help me, call me, check on me, whatever, still, I ask God every day, Lord, give me strength to get up, to roll out the bed, to something. I got to get in here and do something for my kids. They got homework. They might have missed a day. I got to write a note. I got to see what you missed. I got to help you. So I understand her plight, as well as him being a young child witnessing domestic violence. It is a serious issue, especially in our community. Um, because I witnessed it on different levels. With my parents, they were young. With other people, I mean, that was just the thing when I was coming up, and people didn't just call the police. I mean, you see a fight break out between a lady and a man, it just don't broke out. You shut your mouth. You a kid. You stay in your place, and it wasn't spoke about. And it does do some type of scarring to you, because I'm telling you, you grew up and you still can see it. You can see images. You can hear screams and cries. So it's a hard pill to swallow. Um, I would say I hope him and his mom relationship continues to get better, where they can confide in one another. But he has to understand, the same way his daughter didn't want to just come out and say, "Well, I'm having sex." The same way his mom don't want to come out and say, "Well, I did this and I did that and I did this." Whatever she did, she did. That was in the past. If God has brought her out of it, she's not trying to really relive it. She has a therapist, and thank God she's not on any type of drugs or in prostitution, or things that going through situations and relationships like that will just bring you all the way down and could deter your life. Um, it's a blessing. And if his goal was to be a cop out all that and want to help people, um, I say kudos to him if that's what he want to do. I don't care for him personally. I just think he's egotistical. I think he's controlling. I think the storylines, like my brother Mike B said, check him out. He's also doing a review. Are forced. I don't know if they shot this or filmed this 2 years ago, a year. It just seems like they're all trying to mesh it together, and these issues have been resolved, and they're trying to get feelings and sympathy out of it. But it was good to bring to the forefront. These were very good messages. I'm not a fan of the show. Like, this is probably the most positive review of the show that I would give, because the show is full of lies, deceit, hypocrisy, false doctrine, and everything that I say. God will never contradict his word. And I know next week it's gonna be amped back up and stuff like that. Like, I'm tired of hearing about Kim talking about she a ride or die. I'm tired of the Forrest and Leandria saga with, if the lady was pregnant, you got with the man, you had 3 kids out of wedlock. Not knocking anybody. Now it's like, oh, why he ain't doing this? You knew the man before you married the man, and if you didn't know the man before you married the man, that was the mistake. Um, uh, as far as the what I was about to say, the Corey, like I say, he's like, just, it's like he go from 0 to 100 real quick, but try to play it down and be like, "Well, I'm a minister and I'm a mentor and I'm a this," but as soon as you say something against anything he stands for, he's not for it. He kind of shuts you down. I don't care for that. The hip hop thing, like I told you, it to me the beats sound like Love and Hip Hop, or a Bad Girls Club or something like that, and I'm just not digging it, and I'm not feeling it. Um, with any of them. We didn't see Judah in this episode, but I think he will be back in next week episode. Hopefully, I'll be able to get this up quicker on Friday. I just got a lot going on. I go back to work this week. Yeah, so there's more of my time gone. Spring break for my kids will be coming up in about 2 more weeks. Um, So I'm just multitasking. But anyway, check out my sister True Seeker 5000. Check out V Nix. Check out the Ghetto View. Much love from KY. I don't know if my brother Marcus Williams gonna continue with the show. He just didn't feel it. I know he's gonna do Mary Mary, so check him out. My brother Mike B. Um, and that's all that I know so far that's reviewing this show. Check out, I'm not sure if April Ross still is going to review it. I know she has said some things about it on her Periscope. Check her out. Yeah, and basically, I'm trying to get over the flu. It's like it has fever broke, throat feel better, body feel a little bit better, but I got all this chest congestion and cold. So yeah, I'm rocking house coat today. Um, this is a new phone, so I'm trying to learn how to work it. I haven't read the manual. I was out with my husband last week. Phone was in my purse. Phone fell out of my purse. Somebody took my phone, had to get it cut off because they wouldn't return the phone. They was gonna use the phone, and I shut all it down. So hopefully you guys can hear me. The green tongue is from green slush, green apple slush. I had to have some type of ice, crushed ice, whatever. Because I'm anemic, I'm on iron pills. The flu, the sinus, all that came at once. My daughter brought some home from school, and it's been a heck of a 2 weeks. I will tell you that. But check out all those people. That's who I know is reviewing this show. I'm not sure True Seeker is gonna review. See, my mouth is dry. It's gonna review Mary Mary. I did see a trailer on of it. I might give it a shot. Seems like the same old drama, amped up, but I'ma see. But if it's a lot of drama, screaming, hollering, get the cameras and all that, not reviewing it. I'm barely getting through this. But anyway, I will talk to you guys later. I have to get in here and finish doing some things. Wait on my husband to get home. Make husband some breakfast. Well, late lunch because he gets off at 12. And again, you guys, I hope you have a great week, safe week, blessed week. Thank you guys for rocking with me. Shout out to you. You guys are fantabulous. You can find me on my Facebook page at Alan Thick Pen. Just let me know you're from YouTube because it is kind of like my family page, but I do add people. But anyway, that's it for this review. I will be back next week. You guys have a great and safe week. Love you all. Bye bye.